Hello and welcome to the Growing Green podcast. Your host, Jeremiah Jennings, is the owner of Growing Green Landscapes in Birmingham, Alabama, and has a passion for growing the entrepreneurship community for those who are young in business. Being a business owner isn't easy, especially in the early years, and that's why in this show we dive into a wide range of topics covering all the challenges small business owners deal with. Even if your company is generating $1 million or more, the stories from our great guest and Jeremiah's own firsthand experiences will propel your business forward. And now, here's your host, Jeremiah Jennings.
What's going on, everybody? Thank you so much for tuning in to an episode today here on the Growing Green podcast. This is your host, Jeremiah Jennings, and I am super excited to come to you today with another fresh new episode for your Friday here on the show. We're excited to have you in for the show today. Excited to have you here as a part of our journey every single time we come out with an episode, 3 times a week here, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, without fail. That is what our goal is here on the show. I feel like I'm Mr. Brian Fullerton there with that intro. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, without fail. Excited to have you here. It is a great time of year, pumped up, ready to be here. Ready to hop into what we're getting into today. It's going to be a really fun show. Going to be a shorter show. I like doing shorter shows this time of year because I know you guys are just out crushing it like one day to the next, out on jobs, in and out. And so you don't necessarily have hours and hours to sit here and listen to 45-minute, hour-long shows. And I don't want to get lost in the weeds because I want to bring some value for 15, 20, 30 minutes here. And then we will be on the way because I know that, like I said, you got a lot going on. You're out of the truck a lot, and sometimes you just don't have a full hour to devote to a show. So that is, once you get into the dog days of summer and we get out on the mower for hours and hours at a time, then you do. But at this point, it's like quick mulch jobs, in and out, trips to the yard, things like that. And so that is what I want to kind of follow suit with today is another short, just 15, 20-minute show here, max, just to kind of whet your appetite a little bit. I want to talk through some things about investing and reinvesting into your company, doing it a little bit unconventional and not necessarily just doing it unconventionally, but just actually running the numbers and looking at how important it is to actually reinvest in your company. And you hear the topic talked about all the time. Where should I put my money? What should I do with my money? How do I grow my business? How do I make more money at the end of the day? What am I going to do in 5 years, in 10 years, in 30 years? Like, what is my retirement plan? What am I going to do as a business owner to not be out in the field just mowing grass the entirety of my life? And we were actually having this conversation a week or two ago with some family friends of ours about what our plan is, and he's getting pretty close to retirement, and we were just like talking through what his plan is, how is he going to exit, and things like that. And so we were talking about where's our money going, what are we doing with it, and it essentially came down to where we're at the moment is the majority of our money is going back into our company. And I know you can go stick it in a Roth, and you're going to get 6, 7, 8, 9% return year over year. And you can max out at $6,000 a year with 2 of you. And if you do that for a long time, 20, 30, 40 years, you're going to have a couple $1 million by the time you're 60 or 70, and you can retire and do pretty well, I think. I have not gotten that set up yet in all full transparency. We have not set up Roths yet, just because right now the focus is like we want to pour everything we have back into growing ourselves, educating ourselves, and growing our company. And the rate of return that we can get in education and growing our company, I think we can see a lot more growth in that over the long run of having a business than putting money into a Roth or to the stock market, the S&P, anything like that you may think of putting your money into. And so I actually want to show you a clip that goes with me here. So if you know, I'm a pretty big Hormozy fan. I try to watch a lot of his stuff. I consume a lot of his content. He is one of the people that I consume a lot of their content. There's not many people on the internet that I actually consume their content regularly, but he is one of them. Try to implement a lot of his policies. I like the way he thinks, I like the way he does business. And I want to actually show you this video. It's a 60-second clip maybe that kind of hints on this a little more. And I was just scrolling and saw this the other night, and I was like, you know what, that is very true. Like, that's very good. I'm glad to hear this, because this is kind of the method and the perception and the position that we've taken on our money and our life. Let me see if I can get this rolling here. All right, we're back, and here we go. We're going to play the clip. I don't know what happened with technology. I had to turn the whole board off and reconnect. I don't know what the issue was, but that is the issue with technology. It's great when it works, and when it's not, it is super annoying. But anyway, here we go. This is the clip that I wanted to play, and we'll come back and just talk through it here in just a second. But it's like 60 seconds. Let's just listen to it real fast.
Take all of the cash that I spent on mentors, workshops, seminars, private tutoring, everything, and instead of spending that on education, put it into the S&P 500. Even during the best times ever, the amount of money that I'd be left with today would be inconsequential compared to what I have now. And so there's nothing that I've ever invested money on that's gotten me a higher ROI than increasing my ability to earn.
So pretty simple, right? There's nothing really complex to that, and that's another reason that I like Hormozi is he just shoots you straight, and I think that is so cool to see in a world today where everybody's like the next guru, the next internet sensation, the next get rich quick scheme. Like, that's what all of the internet is today, just about. We're 22, 25, 30 and have a private jet and retired living in Florida. And it's like, that's not the case. Let's not do that. Let's not talk like that, because that's not normal. That is not reality. And I'm not saying that it's not impossible. I'm not saying that it's not possible, but it is just, it's not reality usually. And so let's look at how we can actually invest our money and actually see returns, so you can do that one day down the road. But that's pretty self-explanatory. Like, you can go put your money wherever you want. You can go put it in the stock market. You can put it in a Roth. You can go put it in a mutual fund. You can go buy, you can use it for private money, but get equity in companies. Like, go invest it where you see fit. But for me, in our company, in our life right now, it's like we are just pouring everything that we have, for the most part, back into our company and growing that. And so the process along the way, I want to talk through some things that we have done physically, tangibly invested in, reinvesting into our company, and break down some numbers for you and show you revenue returns versus the cost of the machine or the equipment or the software or the service that we have. And so I want to walk through these, and it's not going to be many. Like I said, I got about 10 things written down here, not even. And I would just want to walk through, put numbers to them, put pen to paper, and say, hey, look, this is actually what we're spending, what we're doing. These are the returns we're getting, and does it make sense in your company to reinvest in these, or take your money and put it somewhere else outside of your company? And so the first thing for me, the biggest one, the one that just hits you in the face for me, and I think a lot of you guys out there in business, the stage of business you're in, was we bought a mini skid steer last year. And we are coming up on a year of owning that thing. Have not even owned it for a year yet. We're still a couple months out of it for owning it a year. And that is hands down, I think, the most opening opportunity we've had in our company, as far as opened us up to such a wide variety of things that we can do and take on now. The purchase price of that machine was $29,995, so right around $30,000. I got an extra set of forks with it, and so I think I spent like $31,500 maybe after tax and everything. So $30,000 for a brand new machine, a brand new mini skid steer, 1,300 pound lift capacity, 3,000 pound machine. It is a simple machine. It's a simple unit, but it gets the job done over and over and over again. We've got 135, 140 hours on the machine now. And that machine, like I said, $30,000, right? Well, you hear $30,000 and you say, man, that's a lot of money. Like, you put $30,000 into the S&P, you're going to get a lot of return on that. That $30,000 that we spent on that machine has now led, and this is just quick math, like just quick math that I'm sitting here running through my head. This is not legit, like running reports and things. Quick math off the top of my head, a little bit of history and research has generated us the ability to bid and win over $120,000 worth of work in 1 year's time. 1 year's time, right? 1 year's time. Not even 12 months. We have already put in the ground over $120,000 to $130,000 worth of work due to having that machine. Now, could I have done that work with a rental unit? Yeah, I could have figured it out. The logistics would have been a nightmare. Our renter situation is terrible here. We have to rent from Home Depot, and they're not bad to rent from, but it's like you never know if they're going to have it. You never know who's going to be there and who's going to take it. You never know if there's going to be anything in stock. Like, it's such a pain. It's 15 minutes away, and you have to account for that time, taking it back, getting it back on time, fueling it up, like all that stuff. $130,000 of revenue that's generated us. Now, is that all profit? Absolutely not. But if you let's just say that we broke this $30,000 machine. We have I think an 8% interest rate on it. So I think the total price ends up being, like, if you live at the life of the loan, $38,000 or something like that. $38,000 divided over, I think it's a 5-year term, so we'll go 60 months. That goes out to $633 a month. So I think it's like $700 a month. So $700 a month times 12 months is $8,400 a year, right? So that's what the machine actually costs as far as the payment for the unit. Now you've got your fuel, your service, your things like that. So we'll say it costs $9,500 a year, $10,000. We'll say $10,000 a year. Put a good number on it. It costs me $10,000 a year to own this unit. We've put in over $120,000 worth of work. That's just, like I said, rough numbers, right? And it has, let's say we're doing that work at a 15% profit margin. That is $18,000. So $18,000 is what that's generated us in 1 year's time, right? That we're going to say profit in 1 year's time. So, like, the math on that is not bad. Like, look, that is 1 year. We're gonna use this machine. It's going to cost us $10,000 a year for 5 years. So we're going to spend $50,000 over 5 years. That doesn't make sense. Well, yeah, that's about right, because we got our fuel and all that in there extra. So roughly between $40,000 and $50,000 for 5 years. And if we generate $120,000 a year every single year, you're going to end up generating $600,000 a year, not a year, $600,000 over the life of the loan, of the term of the unit. And then you take that profit and you do it at 15-20%. We're going to grow that profit over time, and we're going to grow our revenue because we're going to get booked more consistently. This is all within 1 year's time, guys. 1 year's time. We grow that revenue, and say we do it at 15% profit, but we grow the revenue to $150,000 a year. Then, like, you're sitting there looking at $25,000 in profit plus a year. And it's like, once the machine's paid off, that cost to operate it comes way down in 5 years. You're going to hold the unit for another 5 years probably. 17 years on this unit is hopefully what we're going to get out of it. And we'll probably upgrade by then, have newer ones. But it's like, look at the amount of revenue that we're going to be able to produce just because of having this in-house. And it's like a $30,000 investment turns into what? $500,000 over the course of 5 years. And so it's like, man, the numbers are pretty good when you invest into your company, into yourself. So again, this is all rough math off the top of my head, sitting here, punching in numbers in the calculator. So these are not exact numbers, but I'm just trying to relay the message and get the gist across to you. Like, hey, this is a good purchase. It's a good decision. For me and my company, at least. You do you. Let's go mowers. Let's dumb it down a little bit more. If our mowers cost $12,000 to purchase them, and we buy two of them, so we're $25,000 in the hole, roughly, somewhere in there. And I can tell you off the top of my head, we've had this for 2 years. We have generated over $200,000 worth of work with those mowers. More than that, because we did $230 in revenue in 2022. We did $285, $290 in 2023. And so, yeah, some of that revenue is split up over landscaping, but, like, come on. We've done over $230,000 in revenue in mowing with $24,000 worth of mowers. Now we got some handheld paired in there, and we do some push mowing, but we don't have any yards that we push mow and we don't mow. Like, we don't use the big mower. I think we have maybe one. I can think of one off the top of my head that we just use the push mower. The rest of them, we might push mow, but we're still using a big mower over there. One of the 24,000. So, $24,000, $220,000 in revenue. Let's do the percentages on that. You can do your own percentage and your own math. Put that into your company. Plug those numbers into your company. And what is your cost for your mowers? How much revenue are you generating with them? What profit percentage, what profit rate are you doing that at? And tell me, is it a good investment or not? Let's move down the list. I bought a nice truck and a not nice truck. And this is like, people say, why would you buy a $50,000 truck? The $50,000 truck cost me $50,000, right? How many breakdowns have I had in a year's time of having that truck? Zero. Zero downtime, zero breakdowns. I shouldn't say that because now today it's going to break down. But zero breakdowns, zero downtime. No repair costs, nothing, right? General maintenance stuff, oil changes, filters. Zero repair time. That's in 1 year's time. I bought a $10,000 truck 2 years ago. That truck, I documented, I have 8 times that thing's been in the shop. 8 trips to the shop, 8 downtimes. The opportunity cost involved with that is like, I don't even want to think about it, how much we lost in opportunity cost there. But I know that we spent at least $8,000 in repairs. Probably over 10 in repairs on this thing in 2 years' time. So that's the box truck that I'm talking about. Is it a good investment? Yeah, I think it is. But it's been one that we spent a lot of money on. We've poured some cash into this thing. But this is just the transition over to like, hey, buy new versus buy used. This is something you have to consider. I got the truck for a steal. Yeah, $10,000 for a box truck, right? 200,000 miles on it. Good shape. But I've put another 10 in it. And there's no telling how much opportunity costs. Another 5, 10, 15,000. Like what I could be selling, what I could be putting in the ground in that downtime. What we could be mowing. And so you got to think about that stuff when you are making the decisions to reinvest, right? Like this isn't a pitch to go buy the newest, nicest truck, the biggest truck, the newest Denali AT4 4x4, whatever terms you want to put in there, whatever your dream truck is. But there is some merit to buying a nicer truck, paying more for it, and having zero downtime, zero breakdown cost. And so that is something to consider when you're moving forward, looking at your options in the spring rush right now. You're growing. You need to get material from job to job. You're like, man, I need a new truck. Like, what do I do? Here's one for $4,000. Here's one for $40,000. Do I find a balance in between? This is all real, relevant, relatable stuff. I hope that this helps you. Like, this is the real stuff that we deal with day to day that we're working through. And so I hope you can take this and put it into use in your company. Let's shift gears just a tad. I bought a drone. So this is more of an unconventional way, right? I bought a drone for $500. A nice drone, a DJI Mini 3. So a nice drone is relative. It's an entry-level drone, but it's $500, and it has every capability that I need it to do. It does. It does more than I ever could need it to do. There is one feature that I want it to do that I'm probably going to trade it out and get a Mini Pro 3 or Mini 3 Pro because I want auto tracking. Auto tracking is sick on these units. You can set it to like you can set something in the screen that you want to track, and you can just start driving, and the drone will follow you, like active track. And so that is what I want to upgrade to. So we'll probably do that. But then other than that, this drone does more than I'm even capable of figuring out and using. $500 on this drone, right? Well, what is the opportunity cost that it's going to afford me Like what amount of jobs could we sell based with this drone to get really good footage? Like customers buy on what they see, right? That's why content is such a huge thing in today's world. You want really good content, so customers see it and it creates the sale, helps with the sale. You get drone footage that shoots 4K. You fly your drone. Like we took before shots. We're taking after shots of like this. We just did 11 pounds of sod on a whole front yard, and it's like we're gonna get some really cool cinematic shots with this thing. $500. We'll spend 30, 40 minutes flying the thing, getting really good shots. Maybe an hour editing the footage. So we're 2 hours in for $500, and it's like, could we sell $10,000, $15,000, $20,000, $30,000 with this one drone? Like that's the way to look at things in business right now. When you're growing, where can my money go? Where can my time go that I get the best return on my investment? Because time is a major investment. If you're spending time on something, you want to see return on that. You never get your time back. You can always go make more money. You cannot get the time back. So don't be wasting time. Invest your time wisely. So if you're going to get a drone and fly it, put it to work. Create good content. Post that content to your website, to your socials. Sell a $15,000 sod install off of my $500 drone. I'd say the return is pretty good. And so I really, truly believe that's a potential thing that we could do, because when we have drone shots of zooming in, zooming out, cinematic footage, like this is what we can do for you. We do all this, and our competitors don't. I can promise you that. Like, that is what sets you apart. People see that. People love that. They trust that. They buy into that. And then you sell big jobs, big work, right? Also, on the flip side, if you want to pay a videographer to come out, you're going to pay a minimum of $250. Minimum. That's like, that is entry-level stuff. Minimum of $250 for them to come out, shoot some footage, edit the footage, and get it to you. That is minimum. Like, they're on site for 30 minutes, an hour at most. They'll edit it for you, cut it up for you, get you a few clips, and you can use those. $250. Double that, you get your drone, right? And you can fly it as many times as you want, create as much content as you want, sell as much work as you want. Think about these things a little more in depth before you just go making rash decisions. It's hard. It's not always easy to think this process through. That's why I want to talk about it for 20 minutes today and hopefully resonate with you and say, you know what, this actually does open up my mind a little bit. Where else could I be investing my money and my time to get better returns? Last thing that I have written down is a bookkeeper. We spend $3,200 a year on a bookkeeper, right? Roughly $3,500 a year is what it's going to cost you. And that's a chunk of change, right? Well, it saves me a minimum of 5 hours a month. So 60 hours a year. If we bill that out at $100 an hour, $6,000, right? Is it a good investment? You make that decision. I spend 2 hours a month max on bookkeeping right now. I spend an hour in my monthly meeting, which is like meeting with my bookkeepers, Megan and Joey, the landscaping bookkeeper, best bookkeeper in the biz. Reach out to them, tell them we sent you. And another hour probably cleaning up transactions that just are odds and ends. It doesn't make sense. They don't understand where they come from, deposits, things like that. So 2 hours a month, $100 an hour, $200 a month. Right, is what my opportunity cost is on that, my time that if I was billing that out to someone else, versus $500 a month. Is it a good investment? You tell me. And so it's none of this stuff is groundbreaking. None of this stuff is rocket science. All it is I'm just here to say, like, look these things through before the big numbers scare you, before you don't know if you should take the risk, before you don't know if you can wake up tomorrow and channel your inner Rocky and push through, because times are tough. Cash is hard. It's hard to get your hands on cash. It's hard to keep pushing. It feels like the weight of the world's against you. You don't have a retirement account set up. You don't know how you're going to get out of the job, out of the field. Like, these are all real feelings. You're going to feel it. You're going to figure it out. But at the end of the day, are you the best person to be investing in? Are you the best place to be putting your money to see true return and profit? All of this is just superficial stuff. We haven't even broken down into like getting employees, building a team, growing the company, any of that. This is all basic stuff that you should be doing if you're running a $150,000 a year company, $200,000 a year. All of these things that I said today are things that could apply to you. And so it's like, let's think these things through more as we move forward in business and in life to make sure that we're not leaving money on the table somewhere. Where can we reinvest? Where can we take our profits and actually make them go to work for us? And I'm not saying don't invest. Like I will not be your investing guru and try to give you investing advice because I don't have that figured out. I'm just saying this is what's worked for us. Has it always been easy or perfect? Absolutely not. But we're still in the early stages of business in the grand scheme of life. We still got a long way to go. A lot to figure out. But I'd say that we're doing all right. We're pushing forward. The numbers are making sense. The numbers are growing as we push through and progress. And so years are going to do it as well. Like you stay consistent, you keep your head down, you keep pushing, you keep grinding, your numbers are going to grow. You got to be disciplined. It takes a lot of discipline to do this stuff the right way. Not get caught up in the new shiny objects. Is there a time where the $4,000 truck makes sense? 100%. Is that always the case across the board? Absolutely not. And so take your money, put it into your business where you see fit. But I just want you to look at some of these cases a little more in depth. Say, where can I put it? Is this the best place to put it? What are my returns? How do we take this thing to new heights, new levels, and let our money work for us and grow our companies that way? So nothing profound at all today, but just a little bit of thought process. Think through some things a little more in depth, and hopefully it brought some value to you here. Heading into the weekend, I hope y'all are just, again, out crushing it, having a good time, growing your companies, hanging out with everybody, because I know that it's not easy. I know that it's not easy, but I can promise you this. You stay with it. You can stay consistent. You keep pushing through. You will see reward in the end. Don't give up. Get around a community of people who build you up, who support you, who take you to new heights in your life and in your business, and you're going to be grateful that you did one day. So hope y'all are just having a great weekend. Again, having a great season. We look forward to what the future holds for this year, this season. We got Equip coming up. Equip is in October. You know, every time this time of year rolls around, I'm like, why are we already talking about Equip? It's like we're in April. Equip is 6 months away. Man, it's not. May, June, July, August, September, October. So, yeah, it is 6 months away. But 6 months does not feel like 6 months because we're in the spring rush here. We'll hop into the summer. Trades will be here before you know it. And then after trades, we're like 2 months away, 3 months away. And it just flies and pops up on us. And so if you are going to Equip, you can get in there for $12.50 right now if you use our code GG50 there at checkout. Save 50% on those tickets. And we look forward to seeing you in Louisville, Kentucky for a great time at the Expo this year. A lot of new stuff being unveiled, some stuff that can't even be talked about, but it's going to be a great time there in Louisville, seeing everybody hanging out, having a good time as always. A lot of stuff happening this year, a lot more people doing conferences up there and stuff, turning into more week-long events. So looking forward to seeing everybody up there and networking and growing our businesses that way as well. So, guys, that's going to wrap this one up. I don't want to sit here and ramble and waste your time again. I know you're in and out of the truck, be up into the next mulch job or cleanup or whatever, so I want to be respectful of your time. I appreciate you more than you know taking your time and investing it into our show. Hopefully this show has brought you good return on your investment over time, because like I said, time is something that you can't get back. So hopefully you thought it was of value to listen. Share with your friends, share with the audience out there. Let's grow the community one relationship at a time. Saw a few people share the last show, which is awesome. Let's keep doing that and let's keep growing so we can just help the next person out there. But thanks for tuning in, guys. I appreciate you so much. It means the world that we can get to come to you 3 times a week, each and every week. So without any further ado, that's going to wrap this one up, and we look forward to catching up with everybody here on the next one.
Thanks for tuning in to the Growing Green podcast. It is an honor to have you listening, and we hope you receive valuable advice to help take your business to the next level. Don't forget to follow the podcast so you'll be notified when our next episode drops.